Hi crafty friends! Coming on today to share with you a project that I've been working on for a swap that my dear friend Beck, who is Beck's Crafting World 2 here on YouTube, asked me to participate in. I have never crafted for the 4th of July before, so I absolutely wanted to give this a shot, and it was super fun. I have to say, this is outside my wheelhouse, these primary colors, but I really did enjoy creating for this. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly share with you what I created. There were a couple of requirements, the main one being a mini banner, 3 Crafter's Choice, a beaded item, and then 2 store-bought items. I bought this Doodlebug paper collection called Hometown USA, and I did do a little bit extra just to make a dent in it because clearly I bought way too much paper and ephemera. And I just really had a good time with this. So I hope you like what I created, but let's get right into it. So here I made, these are my Crafter's Choice items, my 3 things. I have not attached anything yet so I could share with you. I made a bag topper, and this is using the ephemera. I made these flowers myself, red, white, and blue, using the paper from the collection, and a KS Craft, I think it's the poppy plate die for flowers. It's really, I love this flower. This is a doodle pop and some ephemera from the collection. Super simple. I didn't have a ton of time to spend on this swap, but I really, I think everything turned out really cute despite that fact. I would have liked to have made this a shaker, but I didn't. I did pop it up on some foam. So that's one bag topper that is going to house 3 Crafter's Choice items. And I just want to share with you how I would put this together. So I kind of just made them all different lengths by folding the tops over of the bags. So in other words, they're all the same size bag, but I'm making them look kind of layered, so you can see that there's 3 things here by folding over the top. And I will take a stapler, staple that together, and then put my bag topper on. The opening is at the bottom, however, so that Beck will be able to reveal this. She'll just have to shake my sequin mix into the bottom to do so. So I'll start with this first one. I did put these all on acetate. That's part of the collection. Oh, of course, this is one that I didn't do upside down. Oh, all right, I will fix that before I staple. It's really cute. It has fireworks on it, like fireworks bursts. And I just made 2 of these soda embellishments. This one is a shaker using that mix that I stuck in the bottom. I used all ephemera from the collection. That is one of the really great things about Doodlebug, is that you don't have to make a lot of your own things to put on your embellishments. There's such great ephemera, and so much to choose from. They have puffy stickers, chipboard stickers, mini icons, chit chat, all icons, whatever. I mean, just so much to choose from. I actually overbought, I think, but this is a tiny puffy sticker, and this is ephemera, and then I did die cut this little bottle opener. I think this turned out really cute. You're the bomb. And then I made a smaller version of it, which I did stick to the acetate with a removable glue dot, so I'm not going to remove it, and I did not make that a shaker. So I love how these turned out. I think that's cute. That's just something summery, in my opinion, like a bottle of soda. And I just thought that turned out super cute. So I did share this one on Instagram. This is the new KS Craft snow cone. Oh, I am going to have to turn these upside down. They're all in upside down. Snow cone cart cutting die that was released in June. and or maybe it was May. It might have been May. I'm sorry, I can't recall. I did make mine into a fireworks cart. I just thought that was super cute and very easy with, again, using the ephemera from the collection. And I did get a 6x6 of the paper collection, Hometown USA, as well as the 12x12. And the 6x6 lends itself better to smaller embellishments because the patterns are so much smaller. So I think that's super cute. That you can just stick right on a card or a project or whatever. I am making the biggest mess with these sequins, so I'm going to have to figure this out so that Corbeck doesn't... I did only make one swap. I made her something very special that I'm going to share in another video. So, and then lastly, I made this embellishment. It was a die that I found on... I don't have anything specific to 4th of July, so that was a fun challenge, just trying to figure out what dies that I had that would make good embellishments for a 4th of July theme. So this I did purchase, as I said, on Amazon, this cutting die. It's like a heart-shaped American flag, and I cut it out of glitter and inked the edge of the background piece. I layered it up a few times, used some puppy stickers, some of the ephemera, and I just think that's super cute too. Party like it's 1776. So those are my 3 Crafter's Choice items. I did go ahead and make a couple of extra things besides the requirements, and I don't think I'm going to take these out of... Oh, no, I could, because, yeah, I will take these out of the bag. I made these cute little, I don't know what you want to call them. Like it's an embellishment, a cluster embellishment, or whatever you want to call it. I just literally took a star cutting die that I had in my stash and cut it up, put it on some foam. It's a nesting set, so I did make it a couple of times, and then just kind of layered it up with a rosette and some of the ephemera. And I love how it turned out, because everything is kind of on a different level, so it looks super dimensional. That's a super cool tip. You know, like, don't just layer things, you know, on that top layer. Start sticking things in to some of the back layers, and you really get a fun dimensional look. I love this, and I love this little chicken. I think he's a chicken. I think he's super cute. I'm not a big fan of people in my paper collections, but I really love critters and animals, bugs, butterflies, birds, that sort of thing. So I do try to avoid those. Well, I don't try to. I just avoid them because they just don't do anything for me. I prefer, like I said, cute animals and stuff. So this collection does actually have quite a few little people. Actually, I did use the one. I used it, but he seemed like Uncle Sam to me, so that was more of a character than a person. So there is quite a few in this collection in the ephemera package. So this is the second one that I made. Same story. I layered it all up, different dimensions. And I took this little kitty in here and used the dog in the little top hat. I just think that's super cute. And that you could put on a wand or on a straw, you know, or use it on a project. So that was an extra that I created. And I also made a card. And I used the Scrap Diva. It's like a Stanley cup. I don't know what she calls it, you know, drink cup or something, to make this card. I used, again, I made a whole bunch of the rosettes with the paper. And then I just layered up a bunch of stuff that I had in my stash. You know, a pick. These are actually both picks, and, you know, use some of the little enamel dots in the shapes of stars and whatnot, and it does open. So I love how that turned out. July 4th, that can be reused. I'm not going to write in it, but I will stick a note in that for my partner. Okay, next oh, this is the bag topper that's going to go on that one. So this was pretty fun. I figured out how to do this on my own and I was very proud of myself. I see people with these dimensional stars and I thought maybe it was a special cutting die or something, but I started messing around with my scoreboard and I had cut just a flat, die cut star, and I basically just scored from every point all the way down and then just pushed it in, and it became this dimensional star. So like literally just scored all the way across. By the way, you don't stop at the center, so even though there's not a point here, you're going to score all the way, and then you can just literally pinch it together and you'll get this fun shape. Now, how I got this glued down to this piece of glitter was that I stuck a fluffy pom-pom behind it, glued it into the back of it, and then glued that fluffy pom-pom down because I didn't want to see the big gluey edge all the way around. So that was fun. Again, used some of the ephemera, cut this little banner piece, and that's just going to get popped on those extras that I made. Next, I made this fun. First time I made this, I have had this cutting die for a while and never made it. It's a KS Craft cutting die. It's called like the 3D box holder or something, and this is the 3D box. And they're like little milk jugs, like little milk cartons that you would get in school. And this very easily came together very easily. So I showed you the holder first. I saw some people had made this and put two back to back. That's fun. I just needed, the two small ones. And I used paper from the collection, some ephemera, a flower that I made. And I am gifting a tassel that I created with embroidery thread and some beads from my stash. I do love how this turned out. I think that turned out really cute. So in these little milk cartons or 3D boxes, I guess I can show you this one's got trim in it, I believe. Yeah, I'm gifting 3 different trims, a red, a white, and a blue. Sharing some stuff from my stash and leaving the boxes kind of plain. I don't know, they can use that as they please. And this one is filled with these flowers that I made. I made a whole bunch of these poppy flowers. So that's what this container has. I'm not going to open that. That doesn't seem necessary. So, okay. And then the last requirement... last 2 requirements, I should say, I tucked into this jelly bag that I made. This is a Scrap Diva jelly bag, and it's a really good size. I love this jelly bag. I try to use this in a swap whenever I can. I just cut it out of red cardstock and a blue glitter handle, and I put a little bit of pattern paper on the bottom and on the inside. I used Scrap Diva's doily on the front. Heart doily, I believe it's called, and I made this star shaker from those nesting star dies that I have in my stash, and then just decorated the front with some of the flowers that I created and ephemera from the Doodlebug collection. I have another tassel that I created. This one's kind of fun. I put a little bow on here and these letter beads. Thought that was kind of cute. This is like a little mini tassel. And then inside, I'm sharing a bunch of things from Hobby Lobby as my store-bought gifts. Again, another tassel I made. I'm not really good at the beading items, and I didn't have a lot of time, so I just thought I'd add a couple of these tassels in as my beaded items. So there's 3 total, I think. This one I made from yarn. This was like an ombre red, white, and blue yarn. And I used some pretty beads and put it on a lobster claw clasp to put on there. So I'm sharing some of these wood cutouts. This is my store-bought items. Doodle Pops. In the fireworks. I made this really awesome sequin mix, and there's a lot in there. So I'm sharing that, and some stars. Oh, and those viral bows in blue. This blue is so pretty. I love that blue. It's not like navy. It's more of a, I can't think of, like a royal blue, I guess. There's some of those in red, and then there's these 4th of July bows. So those are my store-bought items. Yes, more than 2, but fun. And then I want to share my banner with you. So I haven't figured out how I'm going to attach this little bag topper I created. I made this bow out of some ribbon that was in my stash, and I basically just hot glued it to the small doily and cut this piece of paper to make a bag topper. And this is my banner. Oops, sorry, I just knocked my... Okay, let's see if I can... Oh, upside down. Nothing better. Okay, so I made 3. I see a lot of people, I've been watching some of the reveals, and a lot of people did just 3. And had I known that, I might have thought this out differently, but, oops, sorry, that was out of frame. I made these bows first off for the sides, and then looped the ribbon so that they can actually hang this. This is more ribbon that was in my stash, and I stitched on all of these just to give it another little layer of something so it didn't look so flat. I cut these letters out. I have a letter cutting die, and made rosettes, and I did stitch on this other layer as well. I don't know if you can see. So basically that's what I've done. I've used the ephemera and also some die cuts, and have stitched and layered up just a couple of banners. So this is my mini banner. I like how this turned out. I would use that. So that's everything that I've created. Well, that's not true. I made a bonus item, and I made one exactly the same for Beck from a different paper collection. I know she loves strawberries, so I used the new Doodlebug strawberry collection. But I was going to share this in another video, but since this hasn't gotten too long yet, I'll share it now. So I just have one of these little zipper pouches, and I got these patches at Hobby Lobby, and I stuck them on there. That's super cute. I followed a tutorial from Connie Craig on YouTube. She is a designer for Doodlebug particularly, and she made this cute little mini album. She made hers a bit differently. I've taken some liberties with it, but basically all the measurements are the same. I've just closed mine differently than she did. So this, I'm obsessed. I love this little album. It's so cute. I did make a fundamental flaw in it, and I will share that with you. But this is just a doodle pop adorning the front, July 4th. I figure the recipient can use this to document like a fun 4th of July they had, you know, with the grandkids or their kids, and just leave this on the coffee table. Super cute. So I added Velcro dots and used the acetate that goes with this collection to close this. Connie's was a little different. I think hers acetate was attached to the top and then tied to the back. I wanted mine to kind of look like a little, you know, all-in-one case, so to speak. So there's 3 main pages in this, and then you do some flip outs and whatnot. I had so much fun decorating this. There's all sorts of spots for photos, and I made tuck spots like with some of the ephemera, and then putting some of the colored paper cardstock in there to photo mat, and whoever receives this can make their own photo mats as well. Just a lot of fun. This was so much fun. I don't need to bore you with every detail, but I hope the recipient likes this. I made a little belly band from the acetate here, and then I took some of the cut aparts and made little note cards that they can do as they wish with, and all kinds of little flip ups here. So this one is the one I screwed up. Okay, so this was not part of the original tutorial. This was part of a different tutorial, actually, and it's just a little gatefold, which I think is adorable. And there's a pocket inside, and then I accordion cut some tags so they can either use it for journaling or pictures, or they could cut them up and actually use them. But here's where the problem lies. So I cannot, because it's the full width of this you know, half inch here, I can't, you know, turn it all the way over. So that's my limitation there, but that's okay. It's okay. Actually, if you bend the top back, I guess you could move it a little bit. So here we have another little flip up, and I made that with the cut apart. And it flips open as well. And again, I've tucked, you know, some little photo mats in here in these tuck spots. I think it turned out super cute. Love, love. And then the last page, I made another little tuck spot for a photo, and also another one of these little pockets to contain more tags that they can do as they please with. So this was a lot of work. I will admit, it took some time. I think it probably took me like a full day's worth of work to put together, and it could probably still be zhuzhed up a little. But I'm super happy with how this turned out, and I do hope my swap partner likes it as much as I liked putting it together. I made one for Beck as well, and I won't go through the whole thing, but Beck loves anything strawberry shortcake, and strawberries. So I made her one with the new Doodlebug strawberry, I think it's called, no, berry sweet collection. So same thing, enclosing it this way, whoops, with the Velcro. I'm using the acetate that came with this, didn't come with this collection, but goes with this collection. This is one of their mini collections, and I actually really like the mini collection because there's not so many different ephemera packets you have to get, and then you're like, oh, what am I going to do with all these extras? It's just kind of like one big one, and it has the chit chat and the ephemera in it. And if you don't know what the chit chat is, the chit chat are the word sentiments and tags with sentiments on it. So this is basically the same thing. I just learned from my mistake and did not put a gatefold in there, but you get the idea. This is super cute. I know she's gonna love this. I made some little note cards with the cut aparts, and I just have to go in and like put some little jemmies and stuff in to finish this one. I made a belly band here, but I stitched this. This is my favorite paper in this collection. Super cute. There's some more places to tuck photos. This flips up and this flips out. I did do a little more stitching on Beck's, and in the back I put another one of those pockets and a bunch of tags. So that's going to be part of my hostess gift. So go over and check out Beck's channel. She'll have all of her reveals for this 4th of July swap, as well as mine. And I hope you enjoyed everything I created, and I will see you on the next crafty video. Thanks for tuning in.